the least common multiple o mas kilala sa tawag na LCM. Madalas natin itong hinahanap, hindi lang natin alam kapag tayo ay nag-a-add or nagsusubtract ng fractions na hindi parehas ng denominator. Diba? Let's say we have 1/2 plus 1/4. Remember that in adding or subtracting fractions, we can only do that if they are similar fractions. So, dapat parehas silang denominator. Kasi kapag hindi, meron ka munang kailangang hanapin, which is the least common multiple of their denominators. Ang tawag na nga natin sa fraction ay LCD or least common denominator. But it's basically the same thing. It's the smallest possible number that can be divided by the given numbers. So basically, kailangan natin maghanap ng numbers na kayang i-divide ni 2 tsaka ni 4 na walang susobra. Again, anong number yung kayang i-divide ni 2 tsaka ni 4 na yung sagot mo ay sakto, walang magiging remainder. So, to do that, let's say, mamaya na natin dalhin yan sa fraction. Bigay muna tayo ng number na hanapan natin ng LCM. Let's say we have 40 and 50. Let's do that with a different color. Yan. So, hanapin natin ang LCM ni 40 and 50. Ano daw ang smallest possible number na kapag dinivide ko kay 40 and 50 ay walang sasobra. Ginamit kong divisor si 40 and 50 ay walang sasobra. Try natin. To do that, I'd like to use prime factorization. Basically, kailangan kong express si 40 and 50 as a product of prime factors. Kailangan natin mag-isip ng number na kapag pinag-multiply natin, ang sagot ay 40. Pero hindi bastang number ang iisipin. Dapat prime. Or a number that has no factors aside from 1 and itself. Wala nang ibang factors bukod sa 1 and itself. Yun yung kailangan nating isulat dito sa baba. So, pwede nating start kay 1. Kaso, ano pang number ang pag multiply ko kay 1 ay magiging 40? Wala nang iba kundi 40 din. 1 times 40 is 40. Unfortunately, 40 is not prime. So basically, useless gumamit o mag-start kay 1. What I'd like to do is to start with 2. 2 is a prime number. Wala nang ibang number na kapag pinag-multiply ko, ang sagot ay 2. Bukod sa 1, tsaka sarili niya. 1 times 2 is always 2. Now, anong number ang pag minultiply ko kay 2 magiging 40? That'll be 20. Unfortunately, 20 is not a prime. Hindi lang 1 times 20 ang pwede kong ilagay para magkaroon ng product na 20. Meron pang iba. Ibig sabihin, pwede ko pang i-breakdown si 20 as a product of 2 prime factors, which can be 2 and 10. 2 times 10 will give us 20. Again, si 2 is a prime number, so you don't have to worry about that. But unfortunately, 10 is not prime yet. So we need to break this down into 2 times 5. 5 is a prime number already, which means ito na ang ating mga prime factors. Let's check. 5 times 2 is 10, times 2 is 20, times 2 is 40. These are the numbers, prime numbers, that will be the factor of 40. Gawin din natin yung kaparehong proseso sa 50. So I'd like to start with 2 as our first prime factor. And then, anong number yung kapag binultiply ko kay 2 magiging 50? That will be 25. 25, unfortunately, hindi pa prime. So kailangan ko pa siyang i-break down. If I use 2, hindi pwede. Although prime number si 2, hindi naman sakto. Hindi divisible by 2 si 25. So, kailangan natin mag-isip ng ibang prime number. How about 3? Si 3 ay isang prime number. Wala nang ibang number na ang sagot ay 3 bukod sa 1 times 3. But unfortunately, 25 is not divisible by 3. So, hindi rin pwede si 3. How about 5? 5 is a prime number. 1 times 5 is 5. Wala nang ibang number na kapag pinultiply ko, magiging 5 ang sagot. Now, anong number Kapag minultiply ko kay 5, magiging 25. It's none other than 5 itself. So, ibig sabihin, itong nasulat natin ay ang prime factors na ni 50. 5 times 5 is 25, times 2 is 50. Now, how are we going to find the least common multiple or the LCM of 40 and 50? Ganito lang ang kailangan natin gawin. Kailangan nating isulat lahat ng kanilang prime factors sa baba and then i-multiply all together. Kaya lang, here's the key concept. Kapag merong magkamukha na prime factor, halimbawa itong si 2, parehas silang merong 2, isang beses ko lang siya kailangang isulat. Isang beses lang dahil pares naman sila. Parehas silang merong 2. In the same way, merong 5 kay 50. Let's use a different color. At meron ding 5 kay 40. So, isusulat ko si 5 dito. Now, here's the difference between Gcf and Lcm. If you're trying to look for the greatest common factor, ang kailangan mo lang i-multiply ay yung factor na pareha silang meron. While, if you're looking for the least common multiple, maging yung mga factors na walang kamukha, kailangan mong isulat sa baba. Which means, if we have 2 here, kailangan ko siyang isulat. Meron pang isang 2, so kailangan ko siyang isulat ulit. Merong 5 na nag-iisa, kailangan ko rin siyang isulat. Now, if you want your life to be easier, pwede mo naman itong i-express as 5 squared na lang since dalawa yung 5 mo. Or 2 cube na lang since tatlo naman lahat ng 2. Pero gawin muna natin siyang simple. To find the least common multiple, kailangan ko lang siyang i-multiply lahat. Which means we have 2 times 5, which will give us 10, times 2, which will give us 20, times 2 again, which will give us 40, multiplied by 5 again, which will give us 200. Check ulit natin ha. 2 times 5 is 10, times 2 is 20, times 2 is 40, times 5 is 200. Which means, this is the smallest possible number that can be divided by 40 and 50. Na walang sosobra. That's an important thing. Ibig sabihin, if I divide 200 by 40, sakto. Walang magiging remainder. If I divide 200 by 50, sakto rin. Walang magiging remainder. So this is the LCM of 40 and 50.